This is Zachary Crowder, an electrical engineer, and this is the interview performed by Joseph Brown. So first question, what type of education and training prepared you for this career field?
So I went to Auburn University, studied electrical engineering there, and while I was doing that, I also co-opted Southern Company as electrical design, and it was 3 terms, so about a year's worth of experience there. So that's pretty much what led up to what I do now.
What types of skills are necessary for succeeding in this career?
That's a good question. Definitely determination. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to have to do that aren't going to work out the first time, the second time, or the third time. You got to really keep working at it because, generally speaking, everything's not going to turn out the way you plan it to, no matter how good you are at planning. That's just the way projects work when you're doing engineering. Someone's late with something, there's a bad piece of equipment, something like that. Other thing is you have to be willing to learn, because otherwise you're going to be very, very behind the times. Technology is always changing, so if you aren't willing to put in the time to learn the latest thing that comes out, get out of your comfort zone, you're not going to be able to manage. Other than that, you got to be a people person, actually. People think engineering is all about, sitting at your computer and doing calculations or, whatever the case may be, but if you can't communicate with the people you're working with, your customers, etc., you're not going to get very far.
Alright. For those of you wondering, that is not beer, that is apple juice. How has this career field changed since the time you started in it?
It hasn't changed a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say I have a whole, heaping wealth of experience. I've been in electrical engineering field for about 3 years, so it's not some ridiculous amount of time, but the main thing that changes is just the technology. I mean, you got several decades worth of technology from, Junior and I work in automotive plants, programming PLCs. So effectively what that is programming all the things that actually put the cars together. Robots, conveyors, all that type of stuff. In a nutshell, that's what I do. So I've got plants that have been here for 20 years and they're using 20-year-old software and hardware. And I've got plants that are building now, like Tesla, for example, and they're getting whatever just came out. So that difference in technology definitely changes the game a lot.
Okay. What advice do you have for someone considering in this career?
Advice. I'd say try your best to learn as much as possible. Find someone who knows what they're doing because they've been there for a while, and learn as much as you can from them. I know you don't go to work to make friends, but try to be friendly to the people you work with so that they're more willing to help you out because you're going to need it. That would be my most advice.
How did you know this was the right career for you? Did you consider any other careers?
I wouldn't say, it's the right career for me. It's more of this is the one that I kind of ended up in. I can think of other things I'd rather do, but right now they're not practical. So engineering is something I'm good at and something that has a high pay. So that's what I do.
How has technology changed this career?
Well, the better robots get, the less we need people. So effectively what happens is we're getting people off of assembly lines, and then instead of people building the cars, there's people maintaining the robots and stuff. So that's how it's changed.
Thank God Skynet hasn't been invented.
Yeah.
Okay. How has the economy affected this career?
Well, honestly, basically the way it works is every company looks at how much it costs to pay a person every year, and then they look at how much it costs to buy a robot and get it programmed, and they just leave it. And 9 times out of 10, in the long run, it's more cost effective to just get a robot, because a robot doesn't need vacation days, it doesn't need health insurance, and all the other benefits that people need. You don't have to pay a robot. You have to pay a lot up front, but once it's there, you're done. So it's just more cost effective for that.
Can you describe a typical day at your job?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a typical day. Some days, if I'm in between a project, I might not have a lot to do. I might just need to check up on some emails, talk with some coworkers or clients, make sure upcoming projects are set up. Other days when I'm, neck deep in a project, it might be a 20-hour day where I'm just programming nonstop. So it really changes a lot, It's not a typical day.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face in your job?
People and deadlines. One of the big things is, the customer is always right, is what people say. And that can really, really hurt you when, let's say for instance, your customer is wanting something, done in a month, but what they're asking for you to do generally takes 3. Well, now you have to decide, is it worth it to agree to the 1 month and cram all that work in, or should I just tell them, hey, you're gonna have to wait? That difference, the customer is just thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to pay, the longer this takes, the more I'm gonna have to pay, and the longer it's gonna take for me to start making money off of this thing. But you're thinking, the longer this takes, the more, well-built this piece of equipment is gonna be. So you gotta kind of fighting with the customer to get them to see that, hey, if you give me an extra month, this will work out for you way better. That's probably the most difficult part about the job.
What's the most important advice you have for someone just starting out in this career?
Remember that you don't know everything. Don't lie about knowing everything. Because people who've been in the field know when you're lying to them. And once you kind of break that trust, once you kind of say, hey, I don't know this, but I'm not going to tell you I don't know it, then that's when people start to lose respect for you and you really hurt your career. So don't lie about that. Just say, if you don't know, just say, I don't know, can you help me? Can you, give me some advice on this?
What is the employment outlook for this career field, and how much demand is there for entry-level job seekers?
So as a controls engineer, there's a lot of openings for it. It kind of sucks because at a certain point you kind of think, okay, this is a job that's really just going to take other jobs and give them the robots. But at the end of the day, really what you're doing is you're taking menial jobs and turning them into more technical jobs. So whereas someone would just be, using a drill to drill in these bolts into the bottom of a car, now they're going to be maintaining a robot and fixing the robot when it goes down. So, but it's definitely an emerging field, I'd say.
Thank you.
Snack bones with no sauce. Bones Parmesan roll medium.
Sweet.
Wedges.
Thank you.
And some ranch. No problem. Bones.
So, yeah, what I would say is it's definitely an emerging field, and I don't think it's going to be a field that decreases anytime soon. I think in the next 5 or 10 years, there are only going to be more and more demand for controls engineers.
What types of summer jobs or internships should I seek out as I continue my education?
I would say, really, it doesn't have to be one certain field. I know Alabama Power, or Southern Company rather. That's where I co-opted. That's one place that usually has a pretty high number of people interning and co-oping there. So that would be a good place to look. But in general, just getting any type of experience in the wide umbrella of electrical engineering would be good. So don't be too picky about who you can get a job with or who you can get an internship with, because at the end of the day, once you graduate, people are going to be looking at.
Everything come out okay?
Great.
Don't need anything?
We're all
No?
good, thanks.
Enjoy.
At the end of the day, the problem is going to be people are going to look at your resume and say, okay, you did well in school, that sounds good, but do you have any actual experience? And unfortunately, the way that job searching turns out is companies want people with experience, but they don't want to hire anyone new to give them experience. So you're in this vicious cycle of, I want a job, but they won't give me a job, so I can't get experience, but I can't get a job because I don't have experience. So it just keeps going over and over. So once you find a job, stay there for at least a year, get a whole bunch of experience as much as you can, learn as much as you can, find that person who knows everything about everything and get him to tell you his secrets or her secrets.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about that you think is important for me to know as I continue my quest for the ideal career for me?
I would say try your best to figure out what area you want to get in, whether it's power, automation, electronics, whatever it is. Try your best to figure that out now so that you can kind of get classes and start sending your resume and asking for internships and stuff at places that kind of fit where you want to be, and start looking for jobs early. Don't wait until okay, I'm done with school, now I'm going to look for a job. Don't do that. It's going to take several months for you to find one, and it's going to be one of those things where, man, I really wish I had done this ahead of time, so maybe I would already have a job at this point. So just once you get to that point where hey, in about 3 months I'm going to be ready to go, start sending out your resume. You may not get a job immediately, but at least you'll already be out there and people will be looking at you. Also, definitely get on LinkedIn. It's a really good way to network, and a lot of times recruiters will just find you. You'll have your resume up there, your profile. They'll just be scrolling through people and they'll say, hey, this guy looks like he might fit the job I'm needing someone for. So go on there.
Thank you for your cooperation. This has been an interesting interview, and I've learned a lot. Thank you for this opportunity.
No problem.